If you're not warming up like this, you're already losing before the game starts. Number one is pogo jumps for 3 minutes. We can also use a jump rope to get warmed up. What we're doing here is we're getting the blood flowing. We're just getting our legs nice and loose, nice and warm. All right, the next exercise that we're gonna do is windshield wipers, okay? So we're gonna keep our feet down, and all we're gonna do is rotate our hips from left to right, back and forth, exactly like how windshield wipers work on a car, right? So I'm going down. I wanna try to get both my knees to touch the ground. You see, I can't get this down, I'm really stiff. And then we're just gonna go back. Same thing. You really wanna try your best not to extend your back to make them touch, because we just wanna get that stretch going. Try to stay as still as you can with your torso. And we're gonna do this for about 30 seconds. I'll put a time limit or sets and reps for each thing that we do today. But what I like to do is I like to do them until I feel like they're good. Especially as I've gotten more knowledgeable, a lot of the times you want to ignore the sets and the reps and the times just because you want to do it until it feels good, right? We want to try to get close to perfect as possible. In this case, we want to get as loose as possible so we can prevent injury and enhance our play. Okay, after that, we're going to do a figure 4 or like a figure 8, right? So it's going to be a similar position to what we did with the windshield wipers, where we go, right? And instead, we're going to move over, and then we're going to hold and lean forward to stretch the outside of your butt here and your leg. This whole piece is called your IT band. You're going to lean in, and we're going to stretch that. You're going to hold that for about 30 seconds. Then we're going to switch to the other side. And I do 2 sets of these. All right, next thing that we're gonna do, same thing, same position. We're gonna stay in this figure 4 position, and all we're gonna do is we're gonna focus on rotating our outer hip, okay? So picture a pirate ship at an amusement park, the ride that goes back and forth like this. That's what we're gonna try to do with our leg. So I'm gonna pick it up, I'm gonna rotate it up, right? And then I'm gonna go down and then really rotate it the opposite direction to get that U shape. So I'm just gonna go back and forth just like this. And you really, on this right here, you really wanna turn this over. Especially for me, I feel like that's something that's rare, like that movement. So we gotta get this loosened up because we don't wanna feel stiff. We wanna do 10 reps of these. All right, after we finish those, we're gonna sit on our butt, and all we're gonna do is do some ankle rotations, okay? You wanna do about 15 each direction. So right now I'm starting from the top, and then I'm gonna go outside in and make small circles with my ankles. You really want to try your best not to rotate your whole leg, right? We don't want to do this. We want to keep our legs straight on the ground and really just focus on moving those ankles. So we're going to do 15 going out and rotating in, and then we're going to go the opposite direction. So we're going to switch and go like this. Just make those small circles. Then sometimes what I like to do is I like to go back and forth. So we're pointing our toes forward, then we're bringing them all the way back. Same thing, 15. The next exercise that we're gonna do is we're gonna get on our knees, okay? And all we're gonna do is come up, and we wanna push our hips forward, okay? So for someone like me who's really tight, I already feel this stretch in my quads right here and in my hips, so which is good. So what I do is I'll start to lean back slowly as far as I can And as we're doing this, I'm gonna start counting 30 seconds. For somebody that's more flexible, all you're gonna wanna do is still keep those hips forward, and you're going to come back and just stay as far back as possible, extending those hips forward, and you should feel that stretch in here, okay? So 30 seconds. So as you might have seen, I'm using the gravity to help me, and that's bringing me down, and so I can get into a deeper stretch. After we do that one, we're gonna go to cobras. So if you don't know how to do cobras, we're gonna come down, it's like yoga. We're gonna come down, and we're gonna push our hips into the ground, okay? So on same motion how I did on my knees, we're gonna take our hips and we're gonna really drive them into the ground, like squeeze your butt, and then I'm just gonna come up and stay in this position. Really emphasize on pushing those hips towards the floor. And we're doing this for 30 seconds as well. All right, and from those cobras, we're gonna go right into child's pose. So once we're done with these, you're just gonna lean back and go right into this position. And you really wanna extend those arms and stretch that back. And what I like to do is I'll rock back and forth, kind of like this, and hold a little bit. And what I'm doing is I'm just getting that stretch in my shoulders and the under part of my arms right here. And just really getting warmed up. The idea isn't to hold these for too long for something like this. We just want to get those ligaments activated. We're going to do this for 30 seconds as well. Once we finish child's pose, what we're going to do is we're going to bring our legs out wide, okay? So I'll show you from this angle. We're gonna bring our legs out wider, okay? And what you wanna try to do is push your feet outward, okay? Facing away from you. We're gonna emphasize getting the stretch in this groin. So once you have that, you're just gonna sit back and you should feel that stretch. This one's really good. And all you're gonna do, okay, is you're gonna rock back and forth. So once I'm here, I'm pushing my hips towards the ground, similar to what we were doing with the cobras, okay? And we don't want to force it because you can hurt yourself. We're just going to go nice and easy back and forth, and you're really going to feel that groin loosen up more and more. So this one, there's no time and there's no reps on this. You're just going to do it until you're able to get your hips fully extended, okay, in the position with your knees out and your feet. So then what I like to do is I'll come down, see how my hips are fully extended. Let me change the angle. So we're just going back and forth. Now my hips are all the way forward here, and what I like to do is to flare my legs out a little bit more, and I just try to go down. And then I'll do like a little side to side to really loosen up that groin. And then from here, we're gonna go into the next exercise right away. We're gonna keep our hips extended, okay? And we're gonna do those internal rotations that I mentioned before when we were doing the pirate ships. So you're gonna come here, and I'm gonna we're gonna start my right leg. You're gonna go in, and what I like to do is I like to touch my right toe onto the ground and just go back and forth like this. Once again, I don't want to use my back and turn because then that's going to defeat the purpose. Try to keep your back straight and just use your leg for that rotation there. You want to do about 10 taps. Then we're going to switch to the other leg. Okay, next we're going to come up to our feet, and what you're going to want to do is get into about shoulder width apart. If you need to get into a deeper squat, you can move your feet out a little more. But all we're gonna do is we're gonna get down into the squat. If you gotta move your feet out more, you can. I'm gonna hold my feet down with my hands, okay? You really wanna get comfortable here we're just gonna try to keep our heels on the ground, our entire foot. And all you're doing is, while keeping your hands on your feet, we're gonna extend your legs straight as possible. You're gonna feel that stretch in your hamstrings right here. So, and then when you're down in here, you're gonna wanna try to keep your chest up as much as possible. So I don't have that flexibility yet. So like, you should be able to come up into a position like this while having your hands still on top of your feet. So we're going here, extending, and coming back. And then once you get comfortable with that, you're gonna wanna pick up the pace. And we're just going back and forth. And we're gonna do this until you feel like your hamstrings and your quads are on fire, and that's when you know you're done. And then once you finish, what I like to do is I like to just stretch the hamstrings for maybe 10 to 20 seconds. After we finish working the hamstrings, if your groin is still stiff, okay, all we're gonna do is just do rocks from side to side. If your groins is feeling fine, you can skip this. I like to do it sometimes here and there if I feel like I need to get it loosened up a little more. All you're gonna do is just lean to one side. You're gonna feel that stretch in the groin here and go back and forth. I'll hold for a little bit, then just rock from side to side. Once you're done, what I like to do is, in a super wide stance, I'll push my hips forward once again to get that stretch. Now we're gonna work our way to the wall, and then we're gonna do some calf stretches, okay? So how to do that is, I want my one foot forward, right? And we're gonna try to stretch out this back calf right here. If you don't know what your calf is, it's this muscle behind your shin. And what we're doing is, I'm using the wall as leverage and I'm pushing to activate this calf, okay? So once you feel that stretch, right, we're gonna bring our front forward back to where our back foot is, and then you're just gonna go back and forth. Hold for about a second or two each leg. Like I said previously, we're not doing holds. We're not doing static stretching. We just want to get those muscles and ligaments activated before our workout. So we're just waking them up by doing this for short durations. You want to do anywhere from 10 to 15 holds per leg. All right, once you finish those, what I like to do just to finish up is do some ankle rolls. Use your discretion how many you need to do. Now, if your groin and your hamstrings are still feeling stiff, we're gonna do leg swings, okay? So what you're gonna do is, we're gonna use the wall for leverage, and one foot's gonna stay on the ground, and the other, this is for the groin, we're just gonna go back and forth, okay? Just like this. Then we're gonna switch. Then we're gonna do the hamstrings. So if I'm gonna do my right leg, I'm gonna want this closest to the wall. We're gonna have our right hand here, and we're just gonna go back and forth. Same concept, we don't wanna swing like this, right? Because that's defeating the stretch. Want to try to keep your body upright and just go back and forth. You're gonna feel that in your hamstrings and your hip here on the way back. Then we're gonna switch sides. Another thing that I like to do is, I like to stretch the Achilles here. That's right below the calf. And how you do that is very similar to how we do the calf stretch. Instead, you're just gonna lean, right? We're gonna try to push our knee towards the wall, and that's gonna stretch that back section right here, that Achilles. Sometimes that gets really stiff. This stretches your ankles as well. And you're just gonna hold that. If you guys made it this far, you definitely are feeling fantastic right now. I promise you, this is the best warm-up routine I do it every single time, before every workout, before every game, and that's it right there. Get after it. James B. Hoops, hard work.